hopefully this will be the last meaningful review. So I want to give a different spin on really, about West Ham, and one of the topics that comes out on social media quite a lot is Hammer of the Year. We haven't had the best season. Let's be clear. There's no doubt about it. But there have been some great performances in there, and I think personally that they should be, recognised. So I'm going to give you my three, and what I want you to do is, write in the comments. Do you agree? Don't you agree? Who would you rather have? Let's have a poll situation, and let's see what most people think about it. Because I want to see how on the ball my opinion is versus everyone else's, or maybe there's one I've missed out. But I think the three I'm going to mention to you are three that have either saved us in certain games or been massively consistent. So there may be a few sort of players in that 4th, 5th spot that might just creep in, but I'll go through it, and then what I'll do is I'm going to whack all the stats on the screen of the season, and then you can decide for yourself what you think. So yeah, let's go through it. So the third one, so in place number 3 for me, is Angelo Ogbonna. Now, Ogbonna had previously a real issue with form, and in last season he was in and out of the side, and obviously Pellegrini very much preferred Balbuena and Diop as a younger man, and Balbuena perhaps as more of a centre-back that fitted in with Pellegrini's style. But what Angelo proved through a number of games this season, and particularly when he returned to form, was that yes, he's a good defender. You know what you're getting with him. He's strong in a tackle. He's good in the air. He can nick a goal from a set piece. He's good at defending from set pieces. But what I think a lot of West Ham fans perhaps forgot through his bad form is his leadership quality and his skills. And Diop's had a really poor season in my eyes. It was hoping he was going to build on last season. He had some really good performances last season, and he hasn't quite got to that next level. And that, ultimately that's because of the form of the team. But when Ogbonna come in on that left-hand side, he looks a little bit more comfortable. He's organising the back four. It's not just Diop himself, but actually the whole of the back four operates better. We know about the fullbacks. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that they've been brilliant, but I think with Ogbonna in the side, there's a different level of performance, much more structured. So I think you've got to consider Ogbonna in that kind of in the running for it. I think, since the restart, he's been fantastic. I know we had the poor few results against Wolves and Tottenham, but I think we've gone on and put in some really good performances over the last 4 games, and Ogbonna's been a massive part of that. So it's only right to mention him. I'm going to put the stats on the screen, and then give you a chance, and you can see for yourself and see, does he deserve to be third? He definitely, for me, deserves to be in the running. So that's no-brainer. Secondly, I'm going to go with Michail Antonio. Now, Mikey, he typifies what West Ham's about in some respects. He typifies that hard work, that effort, that desire. And ever since he came in 2015, he's a bit of he's your wild card. You throw him in because he's quick and he's powerful, and he'll nick a goal and he'll nick a header. But what I really like about Antonio, aside from the work rate and the strength, is his ability to get that pivotal goal, particularly since the restart, has been so crucial to West Ham potentially staying up at this stage. So you can't overlook him in terms of that. What I would also point out as well is when Pellegrini was obviously manager and we were playing 4-4-2, or when we looked to play 4-4-2 instead of Haller up front on his own, the difference in performance when Antonio played with Haller uplifted the team, and West Ham won pivotal games against Southampton away, and there was a few other games I believe against Watford earlier in the season. He supported Haller, and I saw the highlights actually the other day, and there's one goal that Haller scores, and Antonio's running near the near post, flicks it on, comes off the bar and comes to Haller. So I think in the side, Antonio has now become indispensable. You can't get rid of him. He's been brilliant, and he deserves the credit. But I think from a tactical point of view, and in terms of him becoming a more well-rounded striker, I think what we've seen in the past 4 games is him beginning to stay within that 6-yard box, and he's developed that instinct, and he's in the right place now at the right time. Is his finishing still off? Yeah. There's no, for me, I think Alaire's a better finisher. I think there are a lot of better finishers out there. But because he puts himself now in these sort of opportunities, he's getting the chances, and he will take them. And it is just a case of time. And he could get better at it. And I think if he gets better at it any more than he is now, we've got a real player on our hands. And you know, we could really do well next season. So he deserves it for me in terms of that second place spot. I wouldn't argue if he got given the Hammer of the Year for what he's done in potentially keeping West Ham up. So yeah, obviously the time, I understand at the timing of this video, we could be in a relegation battle still, but just say, go and beat Watford, we have a great win. Yeah, you'd have to put him in that running. And then I suppose my winner, and someone I've been very vocal about who's been one of our better players this season, is Declan Rice. Now, I think there's obviously an argument to have that Ogbonna's made a stronger impact defensively, Antonio's made an impact in terms of goals, but I think Declan, in terms of being a 20-year-old, it's been his first season as an England international, the level of maturity that he's shown in that midfield, he's played every single minute of every single game, he's absolutely crucial to the team, and I think he's completely indispensable. West Ham would really have struggled without him, because yes, he offers energy, but he's an intelligent football player. This season, what we've seen from Declan is he's gone from being a very defensive-minded player, and albeit he still is, and he's very good at it, to improving his game. His forward passing has improved, the accuracy of the forward passing, the tempo of the forward passing. He's become a real key player in terms of that transition between defence and attack. And that's something you can't overlook, and I think it's now sort of showing that all these other clubs recognise what we recognise, that he's a good player, but he's getting better and better, and the potential for him to improve is massive. So it will be very interesting to see, you know, how he progresses, whether we can keep hold of him, you know, going into next season, because there are a lot of clubs at the moment that I look at, but I think he can make a massive difference. And I think, listen, we all know his quality. He's a ridiculous player, fantastic player. But other clubs look at it and go, oh, he's overrated, he's English. I promise you, when I say this, he's the best young player I've seen come out of West Ham in my lifetime. Fact. And I'm nearly 25, so I haven't seen all the Coles and Lampards and Rios and stuff. So as far as I'm concerned, that's the best young player I've seen. And he's the only player I've seen come out of West Ham in my lifetime where I look at him and think you wouldn't look out of place in any of these other teams. So yeah, for me, Declan takes it on consistency, and I think he deserves it. I think it's a bit of a cop-out if you give him Young Hammer of the Year, because the bloke's played over 100 appearances for West Ham. So you can't make out like he's a youngster now. He's a fully fledged England international. He's a Premier League regular. West Ham have got to do everything in their power to keep hold of him. It does not matter, you know. For me, you can't replace him. You can't replace him. Even if you got given 80 mil, I don't think you could replace him like for that player. And it's not just his ability, it's his attitude, it's his potential. He's almost like, he's the golden egg of the West Ham team. You must protect him at all costs. So for me, Declan gets it on consistency. But I wouldn't rule out anyone else. I think people I haven't mentioned, I think Fornals has had a good debut season. I don't think he's worthy of a Hammer of the Year just yet, but I think he's shown real glimpses of talent that I think when he begins to improve, become more consistent, adapt to the league and its physicality, he's going to be a huge player for West Ham. And I think we need a number 10. And obviously in the absence of Lanzini's form and, you know, Felipe Anderson's form, he's a key player and we need to keep hold of him, and I think he's going to just only get better. So he has had a decent season. I think Jarrod Bowen, people made the argument that Jarrod Bowen would be in the running for Hammer of the Year. We've been bad, but I don't think you can give it to someone that's played basically 6 games for West Ham, or 7 or whatever it is. But I think Bowen is really exciting. I think next season, what you'll see is if he adds the goals and the assists to the game that his work rate and his ability deserves, he's going to be talked about for England. He's young enough. He's perfect for our team. His defensive and attacking work rate's really high. It's very unique for West Ham to have a player like that, so you can't sort of overlook it. But yeah, Fornals and Bowen are the 2 players that I'm looking at next season. I think there'll be other players like Souček will have a brilliant season if he signs and we stay up. But I think for now, I think you have to say that obviously Bowen and Fornals are going to be real high potential players. But yeah, so that's my opinion. hopefully it means a lot. I think it means a lot, but it's up to you. So you let me know in the comments, you let me know, social media, wherever. Don't you agree? Do you agree? Who have I missed out? Am I talking rubbish? Do you think you know better? Sweet, let's do that, because I love a bit of a debate, and yeah, let's have one. So fingers crossed we're up and we've got 37 points by the time this goes out. Otherwise, it's going to be shaky times. But yeah, everyone, take care, have a good weekend, and yeah, speak soon.